added sweet potatoes to your Italian food? We're doing it in today's recipe. Kristen Numbers with Simplify Supper is here to show us sweet potato rigatoni bake. And I am so excited about the numbers of cheese that we have up here on the table today, Krista.
You're excited about that. Yeah, let's talk about the cheese. So this recipe, I kind of incorporated every fall ingredient I could possibly think of, and I firmly believe that anything goes on pasta. So that's the base of this
and
today.
A pasta bake. So a difference with the pasta bake is we aren't just making it on the stovetop, we're putting it in the oven.
Right, so I did make it on the stovetop. That's the rigatoni. You can use any short tubular pasta like a penne or a rotini. That's the rigatoni. Now, let's get back to the cheese. So I started with 2 tablespoons butter. I added 2 tablespoons flour, mix that up well for about 3 minutes to make a roux. That is what will thicken this beautiful cheese sauce that we're making. There's 2½ cups of milk heated to a simmer, and then a ½ cup of thick, heavy cream. Now we add the cheese.
Yum.
So this is fontina, which you said you've never cooked with before.
I've never cooked with fontina or even bought it before.
I'm going to leave a little bit for you to snack.
I've been actually eating some of this fontina. It's so good.
It's creamy. It melts beautifully. So you want to buy it in a block from the deli at Smith's and then take it home, grate it in your food processor, and it just is so, it's like a little bit of heaven.
Well, and now you're putting Parmesan in.
So that's Parmesan.
But I think we need to talk about how you said you like to buy things in a block of cheese. This is the debate in the Miller house, because I like to buy pre-shredded cheese.
So
and Taylor does not like when we do that because it's different. As a cook,
Taylor's clearly a food snob, and I say that in like a loving way, and that's fine. You can be once you've had really good cheese and you realize it's not that much more expensive, you really don't want to buy the fake stuff anymore.
So fine. Okay, so
we've got that. Do you see how that melted beautifully?
Yeah.
So now we have this nice, thick, creamy, cheesy sauce. Smell the nutmeg. I mean, is that fall right there? This is fall right there. So we're putting some nutmeg, a little pinch of salt and pepper.
Ooh.
Now, while I whisk this, I want you, this is radicchio, 1 small head. You know, it comes just kind of like that size, like a baseball size, or that's a softball size, not a baseball size, about that size. And then I chopped it into 1-inch bits and put in some sprigs of rosemary.
Okay.
Will you take that 3rd cup olive oil, pour it over the top, and give it a good toss with the tongs?
Yes, I will.
And then the fun part about this recipe is once you get the sauce done and your radicchio and rosemary are together, you really are just layering things. So I'm going to step behind you.
Well, and I thought this was cabbage you had here. Radicchio.
You know, radicchio has a little bit more bitter of a taste, I would say, but that's not a bad thing. Once you incorporate all of these ingredients, we have sweet, we have savory, we have bitter, we have a little bit of spice. It just all marries together for this beautiful fall.
Well, and when we're talking about this yummy fall dish and all of the cheeses that we're using in it, how did you choose these 3 cheeses? Could people switch them out for different cheeses at home?
And you could get fancier. This is the Danish fontina. If you want to, I'm going to steal these, you could do Italian fontina. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's got kind of a more depth of flavor. You could put in, rather than, this is Swiss cheese that we'll add in blocks, you could do an Emmental. You could do, really just find your favorites. You can't go wrong. Just anything that pairs together well and melts really easily. Those are the key things you need. So we're putting in this.
Awesome.
Now we're just going to layer. So
that's what I was going to say, is you didn't put all of the pasta in because we're putting them together.
Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Now we'll mix this together. The sweet potatoes. So these have been peeled and baked for about 30 minutes. They're in, you can see, kind of bite-sized cubes. I put some thyme in with them and some olive oil, and then I roasted those. So they're already tender. You don't want to put them in raw.
Right.
So those go in there, and then we just keep layering. You want to throw in some pecans?
I love that you have some pecans you're adding in there.
I'll throw in some Swiss cheese. Now, if you're allergic to pecans, like Brian, who didn't love that there were pecans in here, swap that out for any kind of crunch. If you can have it, yes, that's exactly it. Some kind of crunch. If you can't do a nut topping, do, I don't know, sunflower seeds. Do something just to give it a little extra kick of texture. If that makes sense.
Well, I feel like we've got lots of textures in here with the pasta and then also the sweet potatoes. And now, does this stay pretty crisp?
No, so what?
How do I say it?
Radicchio.
Radicchio.
You got it. So
it's
now,
radicchio to say that. I can't even say it. But does that stay pretty crisp, or when you bake it?
It does have a bite to it. You'll cover this, put it in the oven for about 10 minutes at 400, uncover it, put it back in for 10 minutes. It's got a nice bite, but it's just this party in your mouth that screams of fall.
Well, and the prettiest dish I've ever made. I mean, this is so beautiful, all of the colors
and it's all
together.
right there in one place.
Oh my gosh, Krista, you are always amazing. I'm so excited I got to be with you today.
Me
and
too.
you can help me to simplify my supper. You can visit her website if you're wanting to simplify your supper. Go to simplifysupper.com. Thank you, Krista, for always bringing the yummiest things to our kitchen. Well, get relaxed, because up next, we're showing you meditation tips for beginners.
Cabinets and mantle for Good Things Utah, provided by Maple Landing Custom.